Okay, so I am finally making this video. This data was collected over the course of 1 month. What this data is a breakdown of 100 bands, actually 101 bands in CSGO. I'm not going to say what rank it was, that's not really important. What's more important is this is kind of representative of what trust factor does, you know. And I think we collected a good amount of data for this. Now you'll see this first graph is a good graph of what round people got banned on. You can see that not many people get banned on round 0. That means that they never connected. But quite a few people get banned on round 1. I guess that's because if you're really toxic, you don't care that there's this whole game left. You're just like, I'm just going to start killing teammates right away. That's my reasoning behind it. So you kind of get a nice little bell curve where as the rounds go on, they're probably accumulating team damage and TKs, so they get more and more likely to get banned, and then it kind of tapers off here, and I imagine that's because if you've already made it this far, you're probably not toxic, so you're not doing team damage. That's my reasoning anyway. You can see the only 2 rounds missing are round 28 and 29. Every other round has at least one person getting banned on it. My logic is that people get banned on round 30 just because they DC'd and they never connected, so when the game ends they get a ban. And on 28 and 29 it's just very unlikely for that to naturally happen. Here is a pie chart showing teammates versus enemies getting banned. You can see here, despite the fact that most of these were gotten with us queuing, I usually queued with friends. So it should be biased that there are more enemies, because there are technically more random enemies than there are random teammates. But for whatever reason, CS seems to like getting my teammates banned more than enemies. That's just kind of an interesting little graph here. If you always feel like, oh, why are my teammates always trolls and the enemy team's not? Maybe you should collect some data as well and see if that is really the case, because this does show that I just get bad teammates a lot. This graph is a very interesting one. It is the ban length in hours, just to make sure all the units matched up nice and well. And you can see that most people just get a 30-minute. I believe that's because they're capable of just waiting that week before, salting out and TKing, or they just usually don't get bans and we brought it out for whatever reason. One thing I find interesting is that there are more 2 hours than either 24 hours or a week ban. And there are many possible reasons for that. It might be just that once you get a 2 hour, you're likely to be very cautious of it. Because you can get a 30-minute on accident. I actually got a 30-minute while collecting this data, and I'm included in the data as a teammate. So I think it's reasonable that you just, whoops, I get a half an hour, maybe whoops, I got a 2 hour, and then you cool it and you don't get a 24-hour or a week ban. This definitely falls within the accident category. This is accident prone category. And then the other weird thing about this graph is that you can actually see that there are more people that get a 7-day ban than 24-hour bans. And I really think this is because you get a week ban, and then you play CS, and then you get another week ban. And then you get another one. Just because if you're that kind of person that gets a week ban, you're going to keep getting them. That's my reasoning anyway. Just a couple interesting observations. The total number of bans in this 101 bans are 1,745 hours. And I believe that's something like 72 days worth of bans. So over 2 months worth of bans collected within this 1 month of data. Just kind of putting that into perspective. Also keep in mind, it's about 3 bans a night. It's actually over 3 bans a night for how fast we collected the data. From 325 to 423 or 424. Can't remember. Either way, that's a lot of bans in a short time. I myself am 2 of those bans. That's just one of those things. You round a corner, whoops, killed a teammate. And then you get put right into this almost 70%. Uh, my friends have gotten 4 bans. Again, I think all of them had a half an hour. Maybe one of them had a 2 hour, but it's, again, half an hour is easy to get just accidentally. And then lastly, 2 3 queues got banned. That means that I queued up with a friend, and then we also got queued with 3 people that knew each other. And those 3 people, they just all got banned. It's just a weird thing that it seems like you get one teammate banned, and then suddenly the other 2 are like, oh, I'm going to get banned too. And then they just start TKing and all that stuff. So, yeah, if you want to see all this data, the link will be in the description. And when you first open the sheet, it'll probably open on this page, which is actually, was covered in a previous video. This is how you buy auto snipers. It's kind of a different breakdown. There should be one, I think the last one you can actually just play with and make it so, kind of mix and match and figure out how you can get an auto. It's all pretty self-explanatory. But if you're, more looking at the ban side, the statistics behind that, this is definitely where you go.